in 1973. Since then, it's fallen to 53%. So from 2/3 of the income to half of the income at the same time that productivity isn't growing as fast. The final factor is labor force participation. For decades, women entered the workforce. It meant you had more two-earner couples instead of one-earner couples, and it helped drive income growth. Women's labor force participation peaked in the late 1990s. Male labor force participation has been falling for a while, and so the combination of those means instead of more two-earner families, you're now on a trajectory back towards more one-earner couples. And so you take all three of those, productivity, inequality, and participation, all three of them over the last several decades have created these challenges in terms of middle-class incomes. And when I think about policy, I think about policies that would act on all three of those dimensions, with the best ones being ones that act simultaneously on two or even all three of them.
Yeah, but let me pick up on that. I mean, but even in this most recent period you're describing, even though productivity growth rate has not been as high as it's been historically, it's still been relatively high, and even wages haven't kept up with that. And one of the arguments has always been that productivity is the thing that raises standards of living, and so presumably when productivity goes up, standards of living go up. So what's broken in terms of, is it something that how returns go all the way through to wages when we have productivity gains? Is it that we're getting more returns go to capital? Well, what's going on?
I think there's a few things, and we could break it down just as a matter of accounting into three causes of the increase in inequality, and then we could talk about what lies behind them. One is an increase of inequality within labor income. So top managers get paid more than line workers. The second is inequality within capital income. Wealthier households collect more dividends and interest than middle-class households. And then the third is the split between capital and labor income, that more is going to profits and less is going to wages. And those are the three ways you can decompose that increase in inequality. If you look at it, it turns out that split between capital and labor, the rise in profits, the fall in compensation, matters, but it's at most probably 20% of the increase in inequality. About 65% of the increase in inequality is that inequality within labor income, managers being paid more relative to line workers. And then the rest is inequality within capital income. Now there's some important footnotes to that. If you look at the top 1/10 of 1%, capital income inequality matters a lot more. Over time, in the last decade or two, capital income inequality has risen at a more rapid rate than labor income inequality. But the broad story